All right. The haters will say it isn't Monday morning and we're not live. They're allowed to be wrong. It's okay. We won't. We're going to hold it against them, or we're not going to hold it against them too much. All right. I'm going to get a little bit of stream music going, and then we'll go, as it were. We'll be cooking, possibly with gas. There may be other uh, materials involved, however. You might not be able to rely fully on gas. Man, what day is it? It is the 13th of, it's Monday the 13th. I don't know how Friday the 13th became more unlucky than Monday the 13th. It seems to be like Monday the 13th would be the scary day. It's a Monday that's the 13th. You know what I mean? Like that should send shivers down your spine way more than Friday the 13th. Here we go. Music. Loud. There we go. Look at that. We're doing that. We're going. All right. You ever have a weekend where nothing happens? That was my past 2 days. Nothing happened. Went to the grocery store though. I'm partially lying. But anyway, we're changing it up a little bit. And the reason why we're changing it up is because yours truly has things they've got to do. Who's yours truly? I don't know. I'm still working that part out. But the point is, um, the point is that the main thing that people watch on my channel right now are the videos of those mech assemblies, right? Bam. Now we're doing it. Look at us. It's morning in this city skyline city that I took a 15-second screen recording of. It's great. All right. Thank God that worked. All right. So yeah, that's like the mainstay of my channel right now are those mech videos. And the thing about that is that uh in order to like how do thoughts work? It's 6:30 in the morning. Um, those videos. So, like, I'm on the last variant of the IUSDF mech that I had planned, and I have plans for uh, I've got plans for like those builds I've got plans to tell stories with them. I've got plans to make more content with them. But basically, in order to uh, bring those plans to fruition, I have to do some development. I have to develop some visuals for the builds. I'm talking very efficiently today. Because basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to be making decals for the builds that mean different things. Symbols, insignias, markings, and that's going to help fill out the build. The idea being to like give them a little bit of extra personality, a little bit of extra pop, and I am going to be transitioning from just doing. I've done like the models. I am going to be making a characters and pilots for the different mechs that I've created. However, to do that, I need to build a setting, and I don't need to do what I'm doing right now, but I want to, which is I'm not going to make a constructed language, but I am going to make a constructed writing system. That's what I'm doing right now. This is a very roundabout explanation to say that I'm making an alphabet, and this is it. So this is the Timir alphabet of the Timir people of the Ionian Union. Aren't you just swimming in the lore already? It's so rich and vibrant. Now the idea is that I'm going to be able to use this to create writing on different symbols and use it in some of the who's what I'm constructing right now is I'm getting fancy with it. So I have tried my hand at constructing fictional languages in the past, and an interesting problem you run into when constructing a fictional alphabet is that it's actually quite difficult. You'd be surprised. Because here's the thing. When you're just making lines on paper without any kind of thought or plan, you end up doing a bunch of the same kind of symbols. So I've literally seen this. If you want to go watch a video on YouTube, there's Mini Minute Man has a wonderful video on the, what are they called? I'm gonna look it up right now. Live stream research. Let's go. Get out of here, Milo. You sexy New Englander. All right, here he is. Look at him. His fucking biker jacket. It's a good thing that Milo seems to be a good person because he genuinely is a very cool guy. If he was an asshole, that would be so. It would suck so bad if he was an asshole and like made like the opposite of the content he makes. I mean, he might be an annoying person in real life. I don't know. He seems like a chill guy. He's got the Riz. Let's see, where is it? Ah, yes, the Grave Creek Stone. The Grave Creek Stone was a rock they dug out of the ground somewhere in Middle America. And they were like, oh my god, this is a previously unknown Native American writing system. I am the discoverer of the Grave Creek Stone, Mr. Grave Creek, or something dumb like that. I am, look upon my works of finding this rock, ye mighty, and tremble. I am truly an important man, and to be given lots of money. And you do any kind of research into the Grave Creek Stone, and there are no other examples of this writing system found, and they even did an experiment, and this is the part that's relevant. They did an experiment where they asked people to just off the rip, no inspiration, no ideas, come up with an alphabet. And a lot of people came up with basically the same symbols. Because they were asking English speakers, and the guy who faked the Grave Creek Stone was an English speaker. And, you know, you're used to, as an English speaker, these symbols. So you're going to end up making stuff that's kind of similar, the English symbols. Actual writing systems, right, have a whole evolution that they go through that makes them look the way they are. Like the English symbols, A, B, C, D, well, it's the Latin alphabet, but one we use in English. These are descended from Phoenician hieroglyphics. They used to look like things. Like, I think... More live stream research. It's a stun lock, people. It's very productive. My core prerogative. Okay, so it's not the Phoenician alphabet. You actually have to go back further, but the earliest iterations of what would become the Phoenician alphabet, which would later become the Latin alphabet, is an alphabet that looks something like, dear God, let me hope, I fucking hope, there we go. Looks like something like this. Let me delete the stuff in front of it. Man, those are complicated symbols, and I think that I see some that look like people. You'd be correct. These were hieroglyphics. These were early, simplified hieroglyphics, like Egyptian hieroglyphics, where the symbols are supposed to represent something pictorial, and then later they basically become abstracted and become later become abstracted and become simplified, and then eventually turn into what we would consider letters. Like, here's a better example. Is this gonna load? You are fucking tiny, buddy. Look at that. Look at... That illustrates my point so well. Okay, let's hope you... Really? Okay, Jesus Christ. God damn, you're small. Okay, are you gonna do it this time? Or are you gonna keep being annoying? Are you gonna keep doing that? Jesus. Okay, swear to God, it doesn't look like. Okay, fuck it. Like, just an example of what the hieroglyphics looked like, because the script that I posted still wasn't quite the hieroglyph. Here, let's do it in this layer. Look down here in the white space. Let's zoom in. I gotta draw it myself, motherfuckers. Ba-bam, 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 bam. Let me do this a little better. I can do this better. All right. What is it supposed to represent? An oxen. An oxen. So basically, that is the original hieroglyph, and it's supposed to represent an oxen. And people in the Near East were using this to be like, this is what I mean when I say cow. However, this is a representation of a cow, right? And basically, as they use it in language, it gets simplified to wabam, bang, 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 bang. Simplified to that. But then it gets even more simplified to badang, bang, 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 badang. Okay? But then it gets even more simplified in the but by now we're at the Phoenician alphabet. Wabam, bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Something like that. Okay? And then the Latins are like, this is horrible. This is terrible. You Phoenician savages. You mongrels. Why have you done this? This is their opinion of the Phoenicians, by the way. The Phoenicians are pretty nice. They were being mean. Look at this horrible thing. What we need to do is we need to turn it on its side and make sure that this heathen line, barbarian line going across it, is just like this, and it's in the middle. That's the origin of the letter A. And then they're all like this. They're all like this. You want to see what the letter E originally looked like? Here's a representation of the letter E. The letter E was originally a dude. Or yeah, or at least this symbol, like, it doesn't quite match up. It doesn't quite match up, right? Oh damn, and here's something for you. Here's a little cooking, right? So this is the symbol in the Phoenician alphabet where the hieroglyph originally meant good. And here is the hieroglyph that it evolved from. And this was the intermediary phase. Now, a Christian would look at that and be like, hey, I know what that looks like. Yeah, probably. Crucifixes didn't look like this. They never looked like this. You know, Jesus was crucified on a crucifix that looked like that, like a lowercase t. That's what they all looked like. They didn't look anything like this. But there was an existing symbol in the Near East that looked like that. So they were like, yo, what if we depicted Jesus getting crucified on this thing, which we have an association with goodness because of this ancestral heritage of this hieroglyph. I'm cooking not with gas, but with psychedelic mushrooms right now. I should really stop. But the point is, Jesus, wrong layer. The point is that there's an entire cultural memory of these hieroglyphs that feeds into writing systems. Not to mention that there are so many technical and real world influences that go into oh shit. Oh god. Sorry, just one more. There's one that looks like this. Oh dear god. Oh god. Oh dear God. This is the Phoenician symbol it corresponds to. Uh, dear, oh dear God. Oh dear God. Okay. Don't worry about it, folks. It can't hurt you. Okay. It can't hurt you. Anyway. Um. So fucking stupid, man. I I hope nobody is watching right now. Okay, we're good. Oh, fuck me. Anyway, so the point is that there's a whole cultural evolution that these symbols go through. And do I want to replicate that for the Tamir? No. I have an hour to work on this, much of which I've wasted with this caterwauling diatribe. Um, so instead of doing this, what is this? I don't know. There's probably a name for what I'm doing here that's like um, cool and makes sense, but I'm calling it Bionicling. Because if you've ever played the game Bio-Nickel, it's not a game. If you've ever bought a Bionicle, they've got an alphabet, and the way they do it is a lot simpler. Here we go, or at least here we go. Come on, there we go. It's also very small. Don't worry about it. So what they have here is a very standardized system that they can then take and just create some very unique looking symbols off the cuff, off the fly, without having to do much thought. They just have simple rules. Every symbol is inlaid in a circle, and then you just have lines and dots, different combinations of which are evocative of different letters. They even, you know, they have a few gimmies where they really just like make it similar to the original letter. Like Y is just a Y inscribed inside of a circle, X is just an X inscribed inside of a circle, T is just a T inscribed inside of a circle. That kind of looks like an N, you know, that kind of thing. And like the numbers, Mason, what do they mean? This is one critique I actually have. Look at the way they do the difference between 1 and 7. Just the circle inside is a little bit bigger. You can barely tell. I couldn't tell when I was first looking at that. But anyway, this is like a cheap and dirty way to get to some original looking symbols. So I've basically done the same thing here with the Tamiri writing system. And this system does have a backstory. I mentioned that there are technical things that go into creating a writing system. And those are the technical limitations of the medium they're using. So, like, the reason why Latin got so simplified from the Phoenician hieroglyphics, it's because it's easier for the Romans to write with and carve with the writing utensils they were using. The Romans had a couple of different writing systems. Mostly it was reed pens using ink or metal styluses, and both on paper. And they were scratching with the metal stylus or drawing with the ink and reed on the paper. And that was your daily writing system. And then you'd have for like big installations, for public works, you're chiseling into stone. And these symbols are easy to do. They're easy to cursify and do cursive with. And so it's like you've got your form, like a lot of writing systems have like a formal and informal way. So I'm keeping that in mind here. Basically, the idea is that I'm going to be doing a lore dump video soon, I promise, but the Tamir have a lot of clay lying around. And what they do for their writing system This writing system was mainly developed by string on the clay and using that to imprint the clay. And so all of these letters connect in the original Tamiri alphabet. That's why you see, they all start and end in the bottom quadrant. The idea is that, let's say the word, let's try this out. Let's write hello in formal Tamiri. What layer we want to do this on? You see, I'm so good at writing this that I just developed. Hell. Oh. So yeah, you can see how inelegant this, how inelegant this is to use, just like writing it freehand. It's intentional. This is the formal writing system. The idea is that I can take this, and then I can make simple symbols from this that'll be unique. That's the master plan here. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that live from the rip right now. Hopefully this shouldn't take too long. We're gonna overlay in blue. So the idea is to just take prominent features of these symbols and simplify them down. So like this one, we've got an A. It's like an H, but they're very specific about doing the cross section low. B. Backwards Y. And backwards Y with dash. That looks too similar to a regular E. That's better. Now it's an F. Excuse you. Gotta turn off that alarm. Like that. That's better. Really good content right now. Just silent contemplation. All right. So, all right, that's edition 1. We're gonna simplify this even further because the problem with these is that they do take a lot of them. I'm taking my hands off the page too much per symbol, and like if you look at the Latin alphabet, and where is it? Like a lot of these, you maybe have to take your hand off the page once to do a symbol. A lot of them are just one stroke, and I want to get the strokes down for sure for a lot of these. So we're gonna simplify even more. Gonna be too hard. We're doing a derivation of a derivation right now. That's how it goes. Excuse me. We got 2 symbols of match here. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna put a... Yeah. Simple, but here's the thing. The real world is a complicated place, okay? You know? Okay. There you have it. And I even might do some more drifting by just doing this over and over again. Let's actually do that. Just kind of like get it really, really smooth in the hand. Yeah, I think we could stop there. As you can see, only an impression of the original remains. And that's intentional. That's intentional. And you can see my hand is kind of doing things that make sense when you're writing English. Like, this is almost turning into a K. These turn more and more into C's. Y, obviously. When your hand is flying, especially because I'm just used to writing things like that. I mean, it's only so far we're going to be able to stray, but anyway, where's the... Alright, so here's hello and simplified Tamiri. Bam, we did it. So, what is this going to do for us? The idea of these of conlangs in general is they're a detail for the more involved viewer to get lost in. There's IUSDF. To figure out a with the formal Tamiri, you got to write on a grid. That's how I created them. But this is going to allow us to do symbology for the mechs that like has meaning. That is something there for you to read. You know, it's meaning that can be delved into in the lore and in the story that I will eventually kind of lay out with these characters in this story and this lore, you know. Something to be something, right? So let's start. Bam. So the first thing I need to design is the insignia of the Ionian Union, right? And I already know what that's going to look like because I've done a lot of drafting. So we have. Hang on. Really? Jeez. Yeah, look at how slow that is. How many? Where is it? Here it is. Jesus, no wonder. Yeah, I've been going up in resolution to that slowness you saw. That wasn't my hand. That was the size of the canvas. There we go. Look at that. I've been going up in sizes recently for my big formal projects, and that's nice. But RAM. I have to mind my computer. Fucking circles, man. Artists and circles. Name a duo that hates each other more. You can't. There is none. Fuck. Damn it. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Why didn't I just do a shape? All right. Just doing some housekeeping. Ba-ba. There we go. Okay. So. Doing random squiggles for now. This is roughly what it is supposed to look like. It is Tamir writing inscribed with a diagram of sunspots. There are lore reasons. Don't worry about it. So a big question is, because I've set myself up for a headache, because what am I going to write? What am I going to write? I've got to write something short, sweet, and with 2 letters. Standardized lettering. Gotta come up with something. And it's got to be in English. Because reasons, don't worry about it. Let's see here. I think I've got something at least for drafting. Let's see here. Yes. Okay. Think that'll do for at least for now. Uh, Sort of a generic aspirational quote, but it works for the Ionian Union. They're very um, they love a good moonshot, folks. Very much about that moon. Let me real quick lay out a nice thin. 4 by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very crude and rough, but we're doing crude roughs right now, so don't worry about it. Alright, this should help me standardize. Let's make this a little more elegant rather than switching back and forth constantly. There, reference. Time to make you smaller. Damn it. There we go. All right. Alright, now we have to remove a bunch of layers to see what that actually looks like. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going for. I want to create the mood, right? Looking at this, that it is it's supposed to be like unrecognizable, but rustic, futuristic, but rustic. Like the Ionian Union. I'll get into this in the lore when I eventually do that video. I can script it pretty easily, and then the visuals are honestly, I have got a whole system set up for the videos. Shouldn't be that hard. But I won't be publishing it because of reasons, channel management reasons. I won't be publishing it until I'm posting the new versions of the mechs, which will be a little bit. But let's just say there is a merger between the rustic and high technology in the Ionian Union. They've got a lot going on. So, let's get this sunspot cluster right. Let's pull up some real references. Sometimes the best way to get random is to be random. There we go. I used to use this method when I'm making maps. There we go. Whoopsies. My eternal curse, wrong layer. Something like this. And I might change this pen a little bit, but yeah, that's roughly what we're going with. And that's your symbol. That's the basic state symbol. This is equivalent. This is not the symbol of the military, the IUSDF in specific. But this is the general symbol of the state. I got to come up with another symbol for the military. But the point is to drench it in a symbology that is unique to this culture, that is culturally discernible but at the same time unrecognizable at a glance. It creates the sense that people created this with their own logic and intentions. You know what I mean? At least that's what I'm going for. I'm overthinking it. I love overthinking, folks. Right. It is 7:30 on the dot, and I gotta go to work. So, that's all for today, but we got not a lot done because I spent most of the time talking about the Phoenician alphabet. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's content. Don't worry. It's content. Yeah. No. Interesting thing. Oh, looks like somebody popped in. Interesting thing. You know. How does brain work? About the channel, like over the weekend, over the past week. Damn, my views exploded for one of my videos. The most recent short, which was the arm of the intercession mech. Let's check what the vote count is right now. Not the vote count. There's no votes. This is not a democracy. 53,000. Not 5,300. 53,000. That is approximately 53,000 more than I typically. No, it's about like 40,000 more than I typically get in a video. That's like, but bam, 46.3k more than usual tells you, and it's finally ebbing off. I was like, when is this thing gonna stop? When is this gonna stop getting views? Because that's how shorts work. It's like shorts, it filters people into categories and then feeds them videos based on the categories. So the performance of your video has to do with what category the algorithm associates your video with and how big that category is, which is a horrible way to do it and prioritizes freaking hashtaggy clickbait farming over quality. But it's the current I am forced to swim in. And so yeah, no, I'm still getting views on it, but they're much lower now. And I suspect this is the end of the gravy train for this particular video. Yeah, look at that, it's dipping. Yeah, but we're back on the grind. What's really nice, and this is what I'm really proud of, is that my signal noise, like the performance of the channel when no one is watching, when I'm in a quiet period, that has gotten better, right? Like, you know, it used to be I would get like 2 or 3 views a week, and then in between those 2 or 3 views, it'd be nothing. It would be completely static. We don't need to look at you anymore. It would be completely static. There'd just be nobody watching. And now, the static is like 5 or 6 views per day or per hour in some cases. And like a bump is like a few hundred views or a few thousand, you know? So genuinely getting better. I'm up to 700 subscribers. I don't know. I'm gonna have to like, if I get to a K, I'll have to like fucking celebrate somehow. I don't know. But yeah, no. Yeah, no. The plan is to kind of continue doubling down and leaning in on this mech thing, which is funny because like this is not the biggest project or the most important project I have in the works. The reason why I'm working on this now is because this is the time that I have to do stuff on Photoshop, visual art during the week. Like I can't. It's one thing I can't do at work. Like I've tried bringing in my writing tablet. It's just. I've tried bringing. I said drawing tablet. I've tried bringing that into work and like doing stuff at work. Don't tell people I do this stuff at work. I don't. I work. I'm productive. I just do work things anyway. Point being that what is my point? I don't know. Point being, though, that this is getting feedback if people are watching it, which is a nice thing and tells you to keep going, you know what I mean? With the other thing, the bigger thing that I'm working on, which you know what it is if you see my community post, which like 2 people have seen, yeah, that's still in the offing. That's still in the offing. So be a thing I'm very excited to share in the near future, but it's very different from what I'm working on now. It has nothing to do with it. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. I suspect that I'm not going to have a lot of viewers that come over from my shorts to what I'm going to be putting out soon. Yeah. Anyway, it is now 7:35. Work. I gotta get ready to go to work. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Abrupt transition. There we go. There we go. There we go. Outro. We did it. We did it, folks. All right.